All right, let's get it going. Put on these here follow the money lifestyle slippers. Shout out to my boy Sheed. Follow the money lifestyle. These shits is comfortable. Like I said, this product is high quality. Salute, folks. It is your boy, the insurance junkie, your fiduciary fella, the all-star Vaz of Alonzo Hall, your social media insurance broker. And I've returned today to whap and tap on your head with another ADH wealth solution. Today, I'm going to be going over a little article. Obviously, I'm going to do, my long-term live, but I like to have, some kind of a topic to talk about to begin with. And today, what we're going to talk about is understanding the fiduciary risks, duties of a plan sponsor. So, what is a plan sponsor? That is the company that manages your 401k, your 403b, your that pretty much that's it. Your 401k, your 403b. So, I actually have. I'm going to try and cover the name of the company, but I actually have here on PDF something because there's a new product called PEPs and MEPs, multiple employer plans and pooled employer plans. And I'm going to make sure to educate you, my client base, on that type of stuff early on. I'm also making my breakfast, which is going to be some scrambled egg with cheese. But before I go in, folks, make sure you hit that like, drop a comment, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you're made aware every time I release new content. And as always, share, share, share. Lastly, to contribute to channel growth or to schedule an appointment with a licensed financial professional, the links are in the description of this video. And now my cat is throwing the temper tantrum. So we're going to be reading about, the fiduciary duties and the risks of those plan sponsors. So most people think that your job just creates a 401k out of thin air and, all you can do is have it from your job. And while that is true, you can have a 401k from your job or a 403b. Or, someone was mentioning the solo 401k, which sounds nice, but just because you're self-employed, there's still numbers that you have to reach when it comes to the solo 401k, and things like administration fees, right? Because you got to pay for these plans. These don't come free, right? So while it may sound nice, you got to understand what you're getting. It's just like when people speak for or against getting a luxury car. A lot of people, oh, why'd you get a Mercedes Benz? They're the worst. They're expensive on maintenance and terrible. Team Deepwater was going on. They're not that bad, right, in the overall scheme of things for, someone who can afford, that expense or what have you. So it's always good to learn about your retirement plan, what's in it, what it's about, who the administrators are, right? Because most of the time when it comes to what's up, Kay, when it comes to, your sponsored plan at work, most people have no clue what it is, what it does, or why it even exists. They just know that they have, oh, I got my money in my 401k. It's at the 2035 target date fund. You know how I know? Because I actually do this for a living, right? You won't hear me talk about stock plays or none of that stuff, that interesting stuff, right? Why won't you hear me talk about that interesting stuff? Because although it's interesting, you ain't got no business dealing with it, right? Most Americans don't have access to $500 in the event of an emergency. So investing is off the table, right? I'll put it to you like this. It would be like, let's use sports as an analogy, because a lot of people use sports, right? So let's say I go and I want to play basketball, right? And you are able to enter this basketball tournament. But in order to enter this basketball tournament, there's parameters, right? You have to have scored XYZ points or played XYZ games, whatever. Not just exist and want to play basketball, right? So now, if I don't reach the talent level of the guys who are in this basketball tournament, I can't play basketball with them, right? So it's the same thing with investing. You don't reach the income levels that these people who are actually investing are at. So it doesn't make sense for you, the average American, to be investing. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're enjoying the content, make sure you hit that like, drop a comment, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you're made aware every time I release new content. And as always, share, share, share. Give me 1 second. Where's my 18? All right. Take my quick 8-pin. Life, what's up? So what happens again is a lot of people end up in a 401k or a sponsor plan. And actually, yeah, if you're working with Ameriprise Life, then you're very familiar with the fact, you'll be the guy in someone's workplace sitting in their lunchroom with a box of coffee and donuts waiting for everybody to come talk to you about their 401k. They come in, they just put some money in it and let it sit there. They have no clue what's actually happening with their money. They have no clue where it's going or why. Do they ask you anything? No. They just come get a free donut and be like, yeah, let me get some information. One of the worst things you can do to a financial professional is ask for information, right? Like when you're going to buy real estate, right? You don't tell somebody, hey, can you give me some information on this house, right? The information, oh, it's this many square feet, this, that, and the third. The only information you want to know about that house really is if you can get it or not. So it's the only way you get that information is to what? To deal with the real estate agent. You wouldn't ask the real estate agent, yeah, I'm interested in this house. Just send me a pamphlet with some information and I'll get around to it when I'm ready. That sounds stupid as fees up, right? Well, it's the same principle with finance, right? Especially when it comes to things like your retirement account. Right? Most Americans have no clue what even is in their retirement account, or again, how it's allocated, or the responsibilities of the plan administrator or sponsor. All right, so that's what we're going to be talking about today. Like I said, I have the file that we're going to go over, but I'm also making my breakfast. A little scrambled egg with some cheese and a cup of OJ. Give me 1 second here while I get my cheese ready for my eggs. Usually do a slice and a half. I like cheesy eggs. Never went down to Georgia. Steven's got. All right. So now while I'm at it, I can actually start reading a little bit of this PDF for you while I let my pan heat up. Right? So again, it says here, duties and risks of a plan, understanding the fiduciary duties and risks of a plan sponsor, right? Every qualified retirement savings plan has at least one plan fiduciary. If your company sponsors a 401k or 413b plan, that responsibility may fall on your shoulders. If so, you have certain unavoidable duties. So yes, some of that responsibility, and that's why they switched from a pension to a 401k, because they have now removed the responsibility from us, the financial advisory, and from them, the corporation, and put the risk on you, the consumer, the retiree, the worker. So as a plan fiduciary is any individual who exercises discretion or control over the plan and its assets. This will typically include the plan trustees, the plan committee, investment advisors to the plan, other individuals with discretionary authority. So if you approve the final investment menu for the plan or distribution and loan requests, you also have fiduciary responsibility. Under ERISA, or the Employment Retiree Income Security Act of 1974, fiduciaries must, among other things, operate the plan exclusively to provide benefits and pay reasonable expenses for plan operation. So what that means is y'all got to operate your 401k to make sure that you keep into the fact that I have to be paid for managing your 401k for the next 30 years. This duty requires that fiduciaries make decisions that will facilitate the accumulation of adequate retirement savings for the employees they serve. Right? Give me 1 second here. Let me throw my eggs on. I try to watch as I go when I cook. Start the spoon. Watch out the bowl. Put this other slice of cheese. I'm gonna be right back with y'all. I just gotta get my breakfast ready. Y'all know how it goes. Gotta eat, right? Go grab me some juice. Big fan, big fan. All right. Got these eggs onto the plate. Now I got me some quick breakfast, y'all. Now I can really rock with y'all and continue this article. Okay. So ultimately, this means that the plan fiduciaries are responsible for any part of the plan and its operation that can affect a participant's ability to accumulate adequate retirement savings. So this is where you hear about things like those quote unquote corrupt pension funds that people end up in, where, you know, they got robbed out of their pension and all this other craziness because the fiduciaries didn't do the right thing on behalf of the plan. So it says here, plan fiduciaries must prudently select and monitor the investment alternatives offered to the participants. So this is something called asset allocation. Most people just put money into the 401k. Yep. They don't know about the asset allocation. So you leave that up to the plan administrators and sponsors. The sponsors and administrators are going to put it into very generic things that you may or may not want to invest in. Or you may want your strategy to be different. Maybe you like a 70-30 blend of stocks versus bonds, right? So maybe you prefer buying risk. That's what stocks is. So when everybody's talking about investing, all you're talking about is risky money, right? You're buying risk when you buy an investment. You're not buying security, even though they call them securities. Something secure would be something guaranteed. So I want you to think a bank CD. That should be a security, even though it's not. Why? Because it's secure and there's a guarantee that you won't lose any money, right? When you buy an investment, you're buying risk. You're buying that you might gain money, right? And that's what investing is. It's buying risk. So for people who's not really risky, investment really isn't the best thing. If you're low income and you're not a high net worth individual and you're not investing tens of thousands of dollars at a time, then it doesn't make sense to invest. Unless you have something like an employee sponsored plan, where because of the pooling of money, here's what happens, right? Again, we're going to use this in the analogy of sports, right? I'm 5'8", 5'9". I cannot dunk a basketball. Now, are there some people who are my height and shorter who can dunk a basketball? Yes, by all means. Muggsy Bogues, Nate Robinson, a bunch of people, right? But do you think there are more people who are my height and shorter who can dunk a basketball? Or do you think there are people my height and shorter who cannot dunk a basketball? The reality is there are more people my height and shorter who cannot dunk a basketball. Right? If there's 1 million people who are 5'9" and shorter who can dunk a basketball, then there are at least 10 million people who are 5'9" and shorter who cannot dunk a basketball. Right? So, based upon that is what you're looking at when you're looking at investing, right? The level most people are investing at is these are people who are 5'9" and shorter betting that they're going to dunk a basketball. On the flip side, LeBron James is an entire foot taller than me. He's 6'9", right? Now, do you think that there are more people 6'9" and taller who can dunk a basketball or cannot dunk a basketball? There are more people who are 6'9" and taller who can dunk a basketball than cannot dunk a basketball. So now, let's switch that over to the money, right? Because most people don't have at least $500 of savings in the event of an emergency, which means they cannot invest, because investing means that you have the ability to lose the money. See, everybody who talks about investing online only put it into something that'll get you 10%. Sorry, there's nothing that will guarantee you anything, because investments are variable. They're risky. So that would be like saying it doesn't matter the height. If you go onto the basketball court and shoot the basketball 100 times, the way they say it is that out of 100 times of shooting a basketball, you're going to make it 100 times. It's going to go in the basket. Well, we all know that's not true, but that's how it's advertised to you. And that's how it's pushed to you. So now you're sitting here like, well, how come the ball didn't go in every time? You said if I shoot it this way, it's to go in every time, guaranteed. Well, that's not true, right? Maybe the ball spins one time too many and bounces off the rim. Maybe somebody else is shooting the basketball. Maybe because of the sound, the reverberation makes the ball bounce off the rim instead of just go directly in the net. But everybody can shoot the basketball, right? But even Steph Curry doesn't make 100% of his three-point attempts. So, these are all of the responsibilities, again, of your plan fiduciary, right? It assists employees in understanding the importance of participating in the plan. Among prudently selected and monitored investment options, you want to make sure that any expenses paid out of plan assets are reasonable in the light of the services received. Since the cost of operating the plan and those inherent in the investments held by the plan are significant factors that impact the accumulation of adequate retirement savings. So again, your 401k or your 403b, that's a managed account. It's actively managed by a fund manager, right? Versus when you go to Fidelity and you open your $3,500 brokerage account, the reason that's not investing is because that money isn't actively managed. So you're just gambling in the wind. I'll tell you, I'm going to show you all exactly what that's like. In fact, we're going to do this today. I'm going to go throw on some pants, go to the corner store, and show y'all exactly what y'all are doing when y'all say y'all are investing. And you don't have coverage and savings first, right? Because again, your risk tolerance means if I don't earn money off of this and I lose money off of this, I'm in trouble. Your time horizon means, okay, how soon do I need this money, right? For example, If it's bill money and you need that money once a month and you're expecting a dividend once a month to be substantial enough to pay your bills, then you better have hundreds of thousands of dollars invested so that you can get a few $1,000s back in dividends. My cat almost killed me sitting up underneath me. I accidentally stepped on his tail. Give me a second here, y'all. Put on my stuff. So I'm going to show y'all in live time what it's like when y'all be doing this investing, right? And you don't have proper coverage or proper savings. We're going to go do this right now in live time. We're going to see what this quote unquote investing, like, your guy John J. Stocks and Lisa Stocks and Invest with Mo and all these other folks, it's fraudulent, unfortunately. So we're going to show y'all that today. Excuse me. Take up this garbage while I'm at it. Grab my house keys. I want to show y'all in live time what your investing is really like. Because it's not really what you would think it is. Right? And it doesn't. Now, again, it's different when you're doing incremental investing through your job, because again, that's a plan sponsor. So it's pooled together, right? So it's a lot of money combined that it's pulled together to help you as the client get a larger return, right? Again, just like the lotto, right? The lotto, the Powerball or the Mega Millions or whatever it is, doesn't get that. It's a pool of all the old grannies every morning getting up, going to the corner store, playing. Oh, I gotta play my 1, 2, 3. I gotta play my 4, 5, 6. I play my 7, 8, 9. I gotta play my 5, 6, 7. Right? And every day you got grandmas and grandpas and folks spending 60, 70, 80, 90, $100 on a daily basis because they have to play their 4, 5, 6. Right? Now again, let's look at the pool of money. Because how many people do you think run around and play? Oh, I'm gonna go play 1, 2, 3. I gotta play my 4, 4, 4. Right? Jay-Z with his 4, 4, 4. Right? I gotta play my 4, 4, 4, my 1, 2, 3, whatever, right? And then it hits. And after spending that $100 on 1, 2, 3, right? It hits. What your grandma get? Oh, I won $500. But you spent, I don't know. Okay, so for $1 backup, you got $500, but you spent on 1, 2, 3 every day, $1 a day for the last 5 years, right? And that, oh, hold on, I got a phone call coming. Speaking. Sorry about that, y'all. Um, so again, grandma's spending, $100 a day on Lotto, right? And yeah, okay, she hits and she wins $500 off of that dollar backup, but she done spent $1 a day on 1, 2, 3, uh, for the last 5 years straight, and now it finally hits and she gets her $500. But 500 other grandmas also spent $1 a day for 500 days straight on 1, 2, 3, right? So what does that mean? That means they left it up to risk. But we always talk about old generational wealth. Why do you think they keep playing lotto? Even though, yes, $1 to $500, that's a substantial come up, right? But the reality is that $1 to that $500 doesn't really do much of anything for them, because you go from 100 to 500 and then you're back playing lotto again. So it doesn't do anything. You could spend that same money on a life insurance and drastically multiply your money. You can have it to a position where, when I am still alive, not dead, and I want to use this as collateral to, I don't know, do better on my mortgage or so many other things that you can use it for, you can actually do so. Just like the article said, a lot of people use the buy, borrow, die strategy, right? The wealthy. And we keep saying that we want to do, what's going on, brother? We keep saying that we want to do what the wealthy do, but we don't do what the wealthy do. The wealthy buy, ironically enough, buy cash value life insurance, right? Now, there are some rich people who don't, but wealthy people do, right? One of the ways you can tell that, well, part of the way that Disney World got started was Walt Disney took a $50,000 loan out of his cash value life insurance. Let's see. So, Disney World was created by a loan from cash value life insurance. Disney World added money to the Disney conglomerate. Now Disney owns stuff like ESPN, ABC, and just about everything else. Do you think they would have had that ability had he been unable to attain the loan through traditional methods? Because traditional methods of attaining a loan means that you have to show and provide proof of ability to repay said loan. So if he borrowed $50,000 from Wells Fargo Bank, he had to show proof that he could pay back that $50,000. But he borrowed $50,000 from the cash value of his life insurance. So all he had to do was prove, hey, I'm alive. There's cash value in my life insurance policy. Let me borrow against it. And then, should he have died, he didn't have to, he actually never has to pay back the loan. Now, should you pay back the loan? Yes. Right? Because the idea is you want to keep going back to the bank for the pool of money. And the bank is yourself, not someone else, right? It's just like when you borrow money from people, right? What's going on, boss? It's just like when you borrow money from people. You're going to want to, I'm not going to, all right? But it's just like when you borrow money from people, right? You pay them back in a good time frame so that in the event you ever need to borrow again, you're able to do so. Well, that's the same thing you should do with the cash value life insurance. When you borrow against it, pay it back so that if you need to borrow again, you'll be able to. And unlike with any other traditional type of loan, you don't have to show proof of ability to pay back the loan. Any loan that you get other than that, you have to show proof of ability to pay it back. So let's say you get a HELOC. What's up, brother? All right. That's a home equity line of credit, right? If you get a HELOC, you have to pay it back, and you have to show proof of ability to pay it back, which means you have to show proof of an income coming in. None of that do you have to do with the cash value in your life insurance, right? Or if you use your life insurance policy as collateral, right? Because one thing you can do is you can use your life insurance policy to qualify for the loan. So again, your 401k, your 403b, your 457, your TSP are all managed, right? Life insurance is not, but it grows, guaranteed, right? You'll hear something called the Laser Fund by Doug Andrews. I call it the Opportunity Fund, right? So you'll have funds there when an opportunity arises, right? He calls it a laser because you laser directed. What's up, brother? Right? He calls it a laser because you laser directed to certain things. What's up, OG? How you doing today? I can't complain. Every day above ground, right?
Yeah, that's what I always say.
Tell me about it. Yes, sir.
75 cents.
I ain't even got it right now. I'm about to go get me this Lucy.
Okay, yeah, thanks.
Yeah.
I got told more to get out. Yeah, I got to wait till more to get my money.
Yeah, I understand how it is.
Old to me, yeah.
Yeah.
But hey, much love anyway.
Much love,
man.
OG.
All right.
Said I'm gonna show y'all in live time. What's up, Chief?
Oh, really? Yeah, that's just good. You want a body? Huh? You want a body or a tablet?
You want the bottle or just the tablet?
Okay.
Chilling. All right, boss. Give me one and an ace is high. All right. So this is literally, this is what you guys are doing when you say you're investing. You're coming to the corner store and you're buying a scratch off because you're not doing it at a scale that really matters. Prime example. Just like a lot of the people who win on Lotto, the reason they win is because they spend a shit ton of money on Lotto. Yes, you can come and spend $1 and you might win on the scratch off. Thank you. Right? So here's the dollar scratch off, right? I spent $1. I might get $1 back. Likely, I won't get anything back. The people who win money off scratch offs, they come and they buy, an entire book. Oh, I. Yeah. You know what happened? I walked out and I was like, wait, I don't have anything to put in my mouth. Thanks, buddy. So this is the same thing that you guys are doing. You're burning your money for nothing because I don't get anything out of smoking it as a cigarette. If it was at least scratch off. But then you'll say, I don't know about that life insurance stuff, right? So as I sit here with my scratch off that I'm probably not going to win anything on, and this cigarette that's literally burning money, I've just showed you in live time what you're doing, especially when you're listening to all these, stock market people who aren't even licensed who aren't even licensed fiduciaries, right? Now, people will say, oh, well, what's the license got to do anything? The license doesn't mean shit. The license means that I know the law. What's up, man? I ain't got cash on me, man. I'm sorry. All right, so you got all this stuff going on, and these fake people, like I showed you in the other video. In life, if you're still here, you can even vouch for it, right? They got the Keenan Grace or the Stock Up with Larry Moe or the Lisa J stocks or the John J stocks, and you can join their course and learn their stock plays for $497. Or you can go to kaplanfinancialeducation.com and actually get your securities license for the same price. So Why would you allow somebody to BS you and for the same price that you can actually get the course to get your actual license so that you know the ins, outs, and ups and downs of the business, you'd rather spend $497 to get somebody to point you to the quick plays. The quick plays which you can't even actually afford. Why can't you actually afford the quick plays? Because when you invest, you don't just do one, right? Just like I said with the scratch off. If I just do one, I've limited my ability of winning, right? If I don't win on this scratch off, I'm fucked. I have $0 left and I can't go get another scratch off. Now, if I came with $100, I could do that. What's up, man? No, I'm good. Thank you. Hello? So when you're in that predicament, what's up, boss? It's the only one I got. So, Jesus Christ, the only downside to living in a downtown area or an area where people have money, because everybody assumes you have shit tons of money that you want to give away. The reason I have money and the reason I have the things I have is because I didn't give it away to every person who asked for one, right? And I'm becoming more and more callous as time goes on with that type of shit. Damn, my cigarette done went out on me. I'm having to talk to so many doggone randos. Now I know where my lighter went. Right? So, in the overall grand scheme of things, I just went with that $1 scratch off, right? Is exactly what a lot of you guys doing when you're quote unquote investing, because you're buying at a scale that doesn't mean anything. If the stock goes through the moon and you only have one, it really doesn't matter, right? This is why when you actually go through a stockbroker, generally it's going to be 100 shares is the minimum you can buy. 100 shares or a minimum of $10,000, whichever is greater, right? Or whichever is lesser. Well, no, a minimum of $10,000 or 100 shares, whichever is greater, right? So if it's $10,000 and it's more worth it, $10,000 is worth more than 100 shares, you have to buy $10,000 worth of the investment, right? Or if 100 shares is, about $10,000, then you have to buy 100 shares. So when people are telling you to buy an individual stock, that's fucking stupid. That's like, oh, I'm going to go buy roses for my mom for Mother's Day, and then you go buy a rose petal. You don't even buy one single rose. You just buy the petal of a rose. That's literally what you guys are doing when you're quote unquote investing. Because again, you don't have the money to do it to the scale, right? So you're going to the flower person. You're like, hey, yeah, listen, I want to buy a rose for my mom for Mother's Day. Oh, okay, yeah. And then you say, oh, no, I don't want the whole rose, the single rose for $5.99. I want to spend 59 cents and get a rose petal. And then if I get enough of these rose petals and put them together, my mother will have a full rose. Well, you wouldn't do that because you can't buy a single rose petal. You can buy a single rose, but you can't buy the petal. It doesn't sound nice, right? It sounds nice to say I'm investing like the rich, but you're not, because you're not getting the results of the rich, right? Again, that'd be like me saying, listen, you want to naturally feed your child, give them the breast milk give them cow's milk when they're born, right? Not baby formula, not breast milk. The reason baby formula is given to babies and breast milk is given to babies is there's certain chemical compounds that help a baby grow and develop, right? These compounds aren't in a cow's milk. But as you get older and your body can handle it, you can then start drinking cow's milk. But imagine if you was just like, my baby was just born yesterday, I'm gonna have him drink cow's milk. It would be worse for that baby than better. Well, that's what happens when you're financially not in a position to invest and you start investing. It's not actively managed, so you're just guessing, right? So you're managing it yourself. And a lot of people, well, I want to manage my own money. Well, you're not doing a great job at it, because if you're going into stocks to get rich or get generational wealth, the people who have generational wealth are those who go into stocks. That's why they continue to have generational wealth, right? Because they can do it at a scale that makes sense, right? Again, you know what? I'll equate it to real estate, right? If you were to buy a building, right? You can't buy a building piecemeal. You can't buy a building a brick at a time. You can't come to the person who owns, let's just use a house, a brick house. You can't go to somebody and say, hey, I see your house is for sale. I want to buy it. I'm going to start and I'm just going to buy this brick of your house for $500. No, I want you to buy the entire fucking house for $500,000. Oh, I don't have $500,000. Then you can't buy the fucking house. So that's the exact same thing as these fuckers bending you over, opening your asshole with no Vaseline and sticking a metal rod in, telling you you're investing. Unless you're putting $10,000 in one single transaction, 10,000 or more, you're not investing. You're just giving somebody your fucking money, right? I'll equate it even to drugs, right? Again, if I was to go to a guy who sells cocaine and he sells, kilos of cocaine, and I say, hey, I want a dime bag of cocaine, here's $10. He's going to take the $10 and tell me to get the fuck on. He's not going to give me any cocaine. Therefore, I'm going to turn around. Yeah, I just bought from the plug. I just copped from the plug. No, you just gave the plug $10 for no fucking reason. If I go to him, hey, can I give you $10 so you can say you gave me some drugs? Well, you could give me $10. You can say whatever you want after you give me the money. But the actual thing never happened. Right? So that's what's happening for you guys. Right? It sounds nice to say, oh, I'm investing, but you're not. Right? Just like if I dunk a basketball on an 8-foot hoop, that's not really dunking a basketball on an official basketball hoop. Right? If I dunk on a Nerf hoop that's all by wall at my house, I did a 360 dunk. Right? I'm a starting point guard for the LA Lakers on NBA 2K, not in real life. So that's what it is. Anyway, it's your boy, the insurance junkie, your fiduciary fella, the all-star advisor of Alonzo Hall, and I've just whapped a tap on your head with another ADH wealth solution. Make sure you hit that like, drop a comment, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you're made aware every time I release new content. And as always, share, share, share. Lastly, to contribute to channel growth or to schedule an appointment with a licensed financial professional, the links are in the description of this video. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, wipe ass. Work in progress every day and see success. Wipe ass. Work in progress every day and see success. Wipe ass. Work in progress every day and see success. And remember, folks, when people challenge you, they don't challenge you to challenge you, but they challenge you to challenge you. Accept the challenge. Salute. Hey, I know you work with Miss Gwen.